TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Glenn Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Our Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial. And now it's time for the Mayor's Report. And with me this morning is Mayor Michael Beamish.
Well, Mayor Michael Beamish is here in the studio. And Clint, I want to first of all thank you again for all the things you do for Troy Community Radio and for our community. And certainly someday we're going to have to introduce our new videographer.
Chaz Van Cleve.
Chaz, we just introduced Chaz. And thank you, Chaz, for being a part of this. And I know you're out and about as well. And it's just, wow, a lot of activities going on, my friend.
Well, talk about, being out and about. You were out and about quite a bit in this past week. Let's start off with National Night Out was Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, and it was a beautiful evening.
Yes, it was.
And I got to give big credit. We had Jeff Waite on our program to talk about National Night Out, but I'm telling you, he deserves a lot of credit for coordinating the activities. He had teams going out to all the neighborhoods. My wife and I tried to hit as many of those as we could in the time period that we were allotted. And I will tell you, in every one of those block parties, there were what I was hoping I would see, and that is people coming together, talking to each other, supporting each other, and it just provides another level of care and compassion and a little bit of security in that neighborhood. And so we got out and about, and even though maybe a couple of them weren't isolated just to a block, they were like at the race, McCaig Park.
Oh, gotcha.
All the folks and Lincoln Community Center sponsored that activity, but it was a big park area. We also had something between the Hainer and the library working together. But then there were a number of smaller block neighborhood groups that got together, and they had coordinators. I want to give a shout out. I thought it was wonderful. Everyone had a different the venue, but also a different atmosphere that was there, all about showing care and compassion for your fellow neighbors.
And coming together.
And coming together.
That's what we say it here time and time again. That's what makes Troy such a great community.
Well, I know the school resource officers were very big in that. I mentioned Jeff Wade, Jeff Kunkelman, who's our captain. I saw all three captains out participating, and we had the fire department bringing their fire vehicles and medics out and about to all those neighborhoods, just showing that we are a community together.
And it's a great way to get to know our first responders and the law enforcement here in town.
And they enjoyed themselves doing that.
Absolutely. Also, as of yesterday, you had the honor of opening up the Miami County Fair for 2019.
Oh, and boy, what a beautiful day. And I just wish everybody a beautiful week of weather. The theme has always been in Miami County, homegrown great. And what a great way to start that camaraderie. And I was given the opportunity to do invocation to start the fair off. And it runs through the 15th, Thursday. And so I encourage everybody to get out and congratulate all those who participate. All are winners, even though there could be only one best of show or grand champion. Everybody has spent a lot of time and energy and showcasing their wares and their product.
These kids put a lot of time into their animals that are over there.
And a lot of adults too.
Yes.
So anyway, it was a wonderful experience, and we are going to go through August the 15th with the Miami County Fair, and I want to thank the commissioners. They were the ones that invited me to participate, and they do a great job. We have a great partnership relationship with the city of Troy and the Miami County Commission, and that really does help make it homegrown great.
Now, I know one of my highlights of the fair, we go over and we do the Judging a Bee Fun Day for the cow costume contest.
There you go.
But I cannot go to the fair without getting one of those delicious milkshakes and the sugar waffles.
You picked two good ones. I also add the lemon shake-ups.
Oh, yeah.
I am big lemon shake-up fan.
That's a good refreshing drink when you get out to the fair and it's hot.
That's right, and you know, to go to the food vendors and walk around, smell the sights and sounds and smells
Oh my
of the
gosh.
Miami County Fair.
It makes my stomach growl just talking about
Yeah,
it.
I'm getting hungry too.
Now, also in this past week, you had the Mayor's International Council was in town from Takahashi.
Yes, so we have a sister city relationship under the Mayor's International Council umbrella. Festival of Nations, we'll talk about that down the road coming, but the sister city is part of that exchange. And we had 10 students from Takahashi joining us and 3 adult ambassadors. They all stayed with host families. They did leave early in the morning from the Dayton airport on August the 8th. We had to be at the airport by 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
To send them off, and all of us were there. Maybe a little more sleepy-eyed than we wanted to be, but we were there to send off our delegation back to their home city. But this was their home away from home at their sister city of Troy, Ohio.
I got that. I saw a lot of the events on Facebook and all the participation of what they were involved in.
Oh, and each host family does their own thing to give a little more of a cultural experience, an understanding of our particular culture. And you know, it's very interesting, even though we may have language barriers, somehow those young people communicate with each other. And when they leave, it's a sad time. I mean, they're
I'm
like
sure it
leaving
is.
relatives.
Great to have them in town. Now, do we have delegates that then go over?
Yeah, we exchange every year, alternate.
Okay.
So they sent, and next year we will plan on sending a delegation over to Takahashi City. You may recall that there's a little thing called the Olympics, and they're held in Japan, Summer Olympics. So we're still trying to work out details on how we can make all that work. But it will be our time to send our students over to understand their culture better.
What a neat experience it is for the kids.
Oh,
on both sides of that.
Let me just give you one example. The adult ambassador that came with the student delegation from Takahashi way back in 2007 was a student delegate
Really?
to Troy, Ohio. She was coming back as an English teacher now,
Wow.
as an adult ambassador, and so for her it was a renewal. Also, we've had another one of our adult ambassadors has been to Troy 11 times. So he loves the community, and it's always a pleasure to see him each and every time.
It's great the experience that they get to have when they come, because I know the red carpet comes out and it's a good time.
And I got to tell you, we've also had a good relationship with the CISV, Children's International Summer Villages. Many of their adult families wanted to host and were willing to participate. So, you know, that's what makes, I think, Troy special. You've heard me say it's partnerships. It's working together and for a common good. And this is certainly a good.
Absolutely. Now, had council this past Monday.
We
On
did.
top of everything else.
Everything else going on. We did have on August the 5th, Troy City Council. They had a number of issues that we were dealing with, and first of all, bridge inspection program, something very valuable to have, working with ODOT. And this was for between the years of 2020 and 22. They inspect and give us reports. And have it was emergency legislation because they have to put it in their agenda to get done, and that passed without any concerns at all. And then we also looked at our community reinvestment area. The downtown, matching the downtown overlay district, and kind of come into uniformity there.
Okay.
And that also added to amending the fee schedule for the community reinvestment area, and no discussion there. The support was there, 9-0. We had a number of ordinances. If you recall, we had a public hearing. It's the area, I would say, on Dorset by Troy Christian High School, that whole area there,
Okay.
where we're looking at Arbogast Performing Arts Center.
Oh, yes.
And we have to make some adjustments with the rezoning. And the not only Planning Commission recommended, but the subcommittee of council recommended, and again passed 9-0 to move forward with that project. And I know Gary Wilbur, Superintendent of Schools, was there to not only say thank you for that support, but also he also mentioned the roundabout and how he appreciated the timeliness of getting that project done ahead of time and ready for the school year. And so he wanted to show his appreciation. So that was nice. We also talked about purchasing a parcel of real estate, and most people will understand it's on the corner of Canal and Walnut in that area. But we're looking at a fire station, a replacement for Fire Station 1. We want to keep it downtown for obvious reasons.
Right.
But with the new equipment that's out there, the access of in and out, we need to look at a bigger space. Also for the firefighters themselves and their safety concerns with all the exhaust and things that go along with a fire station. So they did pass that unanimously. There was an agreement regarding the Pink Ribbon Girls event. You know, they're coming on October 11th. And to do that, we have to have everything in place, notwithstanding ordinances, and that also passed. And I guess the last thing that I want to share is the second piece of the puzzle that we have to have on the levy for recreational purposes, and this is talking about the Duke Park expansion efforts, which would bring ball fields.
Okay.
Which would help the junior baseball with all their flooding issues. It also allows for, we did a study, and many people want a splash pad. We thought we could put it in Duke Park. Many people also mentioned mini golf. They don't have anything around here. And so they add that feature, but access in and out of Duke Park. It's a highly used park. That will also be included with parking, extra parking. So that's a good thing. Soccer fields, because of our big need for soccer fields. So all that project is going to, 2/3 is pretty much going to be paid within on using our bond capacity as well as our general fund capacity. But we are asking the voters to support the recreational with a 10-year sunset levy for what will amount to on a $100,000 home, $40 a year. I think I break that out for about 11 cents a day, maybe, or a week or something. I mean, if you
it's an easy one to pay.
And I know we're going to have some public meetings to share that, but my feeling has always been, and you've heard me till you're probably sick of hearing, recreation and culture are very big in terms of having amenities that bring people into our community, and that supports us all.
It just makes it look more attractive.
And the park system is beautiful.
Yes.
And we're just trying to enhance that and here's the other thing, people of all ages can enjoy. So it's not just for a segment, it's for everybody. As well as in Duke Park, we have pickleball for our seniors. And well, this will cover a lot more of the gamut for people and families to enjoy time together.
Once again, I think those new developments at Duke Park, we would realize once it's done and see the usage that it would get truly.
Well, and you're absolutely right. So we'll leave that to the voters to decide if they would like to support that endeavor. certainly I initiated that because I just believe in the future for Troy and some of the things that we'll offer to the families and to also bring people into our community as well.
I think it's another plus for us too.
I'll close with just one thing. We had a presentation. Believe it or not, the 2020 census is upon us. And we had Donald Sanders. He's a partnership specialist with the U.S. Census Bureau. He presented to council a presentation talking about the importance of a census. So I would just ask all of our folks to be counted, because that adds to our opportunities to get grant monies, both state and federal, and they use that data that they collect for those kind of purposes. So we did have a nice presentation, and we appreciate his comments. And the only other thing we mentioned is we do have a communication coordinator coming on board.
Yeah. When does she start?
She's starting in the middle of August. We're not real sure of the exact date. We've got to do some of the little detail work yet. But she will be our communication coordinator. She's well known in this area. Lauren Karch, who has been employed by the Miami County Commission. And now she's coming over to the city of Troy, and she'll try to. She's an expert in social media. One thing I'm not, but she is, and so she'll be handling a lot of our social media aspects.
Make sure the right information is getting out there in a timely fashion,
like we do every week.
That's right.
There you go.
Now we do have a lot of upcoming events. Before we get to that, I want to mention one thing. With the roundabout open now, I absolutely love it over at Dorset and McKeag.
Thank you.
As soon as it opened, I hightailed it over there and went through it in every direction. It makes things so much smoother. 2 times I was able to go straight through it. Unfortunately, people are also still getting used to it. So 2 times I found myself stopping behind another car that wasn't quite sure what to do. So everyone, it works just the same way as the Circle downtown. Once you're in the center, you have the right of way, you yield coming onto the Circle.
That's right, and if everybody does that, think yield, and as the people get into the Circle, you just move into and follow the line. I also, my wife and I purposely wanted to make sure, so we went north, south, east, and west as well, and have not had an issue. It does take adjustment period. I understand that, but if everybody is willing to be respectful, to yield at the signs and come into the Circle, you'll move through it a lot faster than stop and goes or traffic lights. So we're encouraged. I mentioned Gary Wilbur is encouraged. We'll wait and see when the school traffic comes in, but we think it's a good thing for Troy. It's at the right location. If you're going to add a roundabout, that has always been an area where there's high traffic.
And I think you're right with the school. I think it's good that it got opened prior to school. So the majority of people are already going to be used to it by the time the kids are back in the classroom.
Well, we just were so fortunate to have a construction company that just did a wonderful job, worked very hard.
And it looks beautiful.
And it does. It has a good look to it. But so I give a big shout out to the timeliness of which they work so diligently. And if you remember, June was not the best weather conditions to be working on a roundabout. So anyway, if everybody will, like you say, test it out, get used to it, I think it's going to be a positive addition.
We'll have smooth sailing by the time the kids are back in school.
If we have problems, we'll work them out.
Yep.
We realize that we got to wait and see.
It's new.
It's new.
And now let's get to the upcoming events. Because here we are talking about the kids going back to school. It kind of seems like summer would be winding down, the fair's here, but it is not. Actually, I think it's actually been turned up a couple notches with activities.
Well, let's just start with the Civic Band, Troy Civic Band, which has their concert at 7:30 in Treasure Island Park at the amphitheater this Sunday. And I keep saying this, if you have not listened to the Troy Civic Band, you're missing out.
They do a wonderful job.
And it's terraced, good acoustics, wonderful opportunity
Perfect
for people
setting.
to come out, perfect setting. The Macintoshes direct, and the performers are all regionally local professionals that come together. So that will be this Sunday on August the 11th at 7:30 at the amphitheater of Treasure Island Park. Certainly, it's free entertainment, but it's very just top-notch entertainment. And then, since we're going to talk about Treasure Island, I'll mention Troy Civic Band will have one more concert after this Sunday, and that will be held September 2nd. They'll move to a 7 o'clock time, but that will be their final concert. That's the Labor Day concert that they do. In between that, I got to say this, the Air Force Band of Flight has asked to be a part of Treasure Island Amphitheater. They've heard, they have performed there, and they like the acoustics, they like the sound, they like the atmosphere, and they will be here on August 25th. That is a Sunday, and they will be performing at 7 o'clock that evening, and if that's the way to support our military. They've all been deployed, but they still have that musical energy and talent that they'll be coming and performing for us on August the 25th. That takes care of Treasure Island upcoming, but we do have a number of other things taking place on the, let's just start about Festival of Nations. We talked about that.
That's next weekend.
That's next weekend on August the 17th along the levee, where we do celebrate our cultures. And I think we have something like 22 culture countries that are featured. They bring food, they bring costume, they bring custom, they bring artifacts, things that kind of showcase their heritage. And I certainly encourage, now we've changed the hours. Now this is important because they've moved the hours to 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And there's a reason for that. It kind of covers the lunch and dinner time hours, so people can stay there on the levee and get an opportunity to ask questions, understand the many cultures. We have a Festival of Nations parade where we have the flags of the countries. Michael Ham, one of our city people, and also on the school board, is the chairperson of the event, and we have many people that contribute as volunteers to make this thing happen. And that's Saturday. You got to look at Sunday on August the 18th, because on August the 18th we have the Mayor's Concert, and
always a big one. And this is going to be a big one this year. This is going to be your last one before you sunset here at the end of the year.
Yeah, I know.
And you get to conduct once again.
My last hurrah will be conducting His Honor March by Fillmore, and I have to say a big thank you to Maestro Patrick Reynolds and my brother-in-law, who's a conductor in the Boston area, who gives me the baton. I call it the magic baton because certainly I don't have that talent, but between the two of them and the actual Dayton Philharmonic band and chorus, they just make it a wonderful evening to come down to Prouty Plaza. We close it off, and the Mayor's Concert honors all the mayors that are past and present, as well as all the elected officials who have given their time and their talent for their respective communities. So I would say that you want to get down there, and I believe that's going to be a 7 o'clock performance as well.
Get your chair down there early, lay out your blanket.
Yep.
make sure you get the space you want.
Yep.
That's how that works.
And, we continue to talk about culture and the entertainment value of coming down to Troy, and it's a regional effort, but I also want to talk about the Donut Jam. That'll be on August the 23rd. That kicks off another special weekend. I already talked about the Air Force Band of Flight on the 25th. The 23rd, we have the Donut Jam, and in between, sandwiched in there, I shouldn't say sandwich, donut in between there, is the Tour de Donut that takes place and starts in downtown Troy on the 24th.
That brings in a lot of bike riders.
So, just looking at August,
Yes.
and we haven't even started to talk, that is usually a kickoff of school starts and football season around the whole area. So, and we have many of our sports already taking place as in August. So, August is very busy, and it just kicks off that fall season.
All right. Lots going on, lots of things to do. So mark it on your calendar and get out and enjoy some of these great events we've got right here in Troy.
Well, it just dawned on me. Hainer Cultural Center. We don't give enough credit to Hainer Cultural Center and all the programs that they offer. Let me put a little plug on the 16th of August for them. They do Friday nights on Prouty, and the Downtown Concert Series will have a ragtime Dixieland band down on the Prouty Plaza on August the 16th. I hope somebody has a pencil to start marking these things on their calendar, because these are free entertainment and just wonderful, powerful. And then everybody knows Rum River Blend.
Yes.
Everybody. They're going to do a community concert on Tuesday, August the 20th. I believe that's going to be at Hainer.
Okay.
But that'll be at 7:30. A community concert with Rum River Blend, and I guess I'm going to finish with something that's very special to me. Is the Troy Memorial Freedom Climb. It honors the 9/11 and observes 9/11, but it also honors our first responders, both fire and police. And retired police sergeant Joe Stutz heads that up, and that'll be at Troy Memorial Stadium. If you want to mark your calendar again, that's September 8th. That'll be a Sunday, and kickoff of the opening ceremonies will be around 1:45, and then the event takes place at 2. So, boy.
Invite everybody out to that. I've been there for the first two that they did. And it is absolutely amazing when you see the amount of people that turn out and do the Freedom Climb.
And this will be our third annual. Yes. So it's becoming an annual event. And boy.
Lots to do.
I have to catch my breath, Clint. We had a lot to share today, and I hope the audience can see that we are really striving to bring recreation, bring culture, and bring activity, not only to our downtown area, but to along our riverfront activities at Treasure Island. And let's not forget the Miami County Fair going on as well.
All right. I'll take advantage of that and probably go over and take advantage of the farmers market going on Cherry Street right now.
Thank you for putting that plug in as well. I almost forgot that.
Something for everyone. I mean, there is literally, if you don't like one thing, you got to like one of the other ones.
Well, I've always said that's what my goal has always been, is to provide activities and events for people of all ages, and especially for families.
All right. Mayor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been the Mayor's Report with Mayor Michael Beamish. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN.